What's up, everybody? I'm Brandon. Welcome to ADHD Game Dev. So cool to have you here. If you're subscribed, I'm super stoked to have you here. If you're not subscribed, I don't know. I guess it's okay that you showed up. That's cool too, but whatever. Anyway, let's talk about things because we're making video games, aren't we? We're back. We're better than ever. Well, we're as good as we ever were. Okay, I want to show you something I was working on in Blender, and I got a caveat. I got a rule for you. This is the rule. You're allowed to laugh at me if you can do better. Fair? Fair. I think that's fair. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1, boom. There's what we got. I know it's derpy. I know. I was working on this model for a character, and I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter too much because it's supposed to be a third-person chase view type thing, so it's like, how much detail do I really need? Then I was messing with it, and then I was like, I can't underp it. I kept trying, and I just couldn't get there. So what I got to was thinking, is it better to continue to build or to buy? And I worked on something else. I bought a model and modified the heck out of it. Huzzah! Oh, isn't that pretty? Oh, yes, indeed. Much, much, much better. It's got a nice style to it, and I did do work on it, though. First of all, I went through and modified the way that it was running textures. Dang, dude, thing was so complicated. Great job to the original artists on this one. Geez. But when you look at let me go to the shader here. When you look at a shading setup that is like that, you're like, here, go away, character one. I'm sorry. When you got all this complicated stuff in here, like if you're good at Blender, you're probably going, yeah, it's no big deal, you loser, which is fine. Most of these are actually just like a white circle with a blue circle in it, and it's just telling it to like, this is shiny and that is, it's just a lot. Anyway, it does wind up with some really, really, really pretty eyes, I think. Now, in my case, the original model that I was working for was more of an adult woman, and I wanted it to be a forest sprite child. So I thought if I start with a female model, it's a lot closer to being a elven sprite character, and I can kind of make it a little bit less feminine, but it's a forest sprite, so they do have kind of feminine qualities, and it's supposed to be more of a youth character. So I'm like, okay, I'm kind of in the right ballpark, and I can modify from there instead of starting from scratch. And I got a lot closer here, so I think my character's coming along. And we made an acorn hat. Come on, acorn hat for the win. You love it. I know you do. So next thing we got to do is to figure out rigging and getting this into Godot. I made a little progress on that front, but a lot of what I've been doing is what you call lateral progress, and you can't discount lateral progress. Lateral progress is where you're just trying different things and you're not really moving forward with any obvious momentum, and it can be frustrating, and sometimes it feels like you're moving backward, but come on, you're not really moving backward, you're moving in a sideways kind of a fashion, because I have to try a bunch of stuff that doesn't work before I get to the thing that does work. If I knew what the final result was that would work, I would be able to go directly to it instead of having to go round and round and round until you get to it. But that's the creative process. You might have an end goal kind of in your mind, but you can't just go directly to it. You have to give yourself a little space to work your way towards what will work, and that means a whole lot of false starts and trial and error and stuff that doesn't work. I'm okay with it as long as I'm having fun with it, because as I've said about a million times, I do this for fun. This is supposed to be a hobby. I had to stop and tell myself that I'm not, I wrote it down and then I erased it, but it's still in my head, that I don't have to focus on finishing my hobbies. If you got a hobby, you don't have to go, now you have to finish that hobby up. Like, okay, I could still work on it and have fun and keep making whatever progress I feel like, as long as I'm having fun. That's the point. But anyway, if I do want to make forward momentum and get an individual project like a game completed, I need to start thinking about leveraging other people's work. That means I can buy a model and I can hire people if I want to for coding, because as much as this is a hobby, it does actually, it's a kind of hobby that has a end goal and a destination in mind, where I do actually want to finish something. So being able to buy a model instead of work on my own, it just speeds things quite a lot up, don't you think? So we have that model highly modified versus, man, I try. I try. I try. I don't think you should laugh at yourself for your starts and stops and your failures and getting there into the ballpark. Because when I got in here and was really looking at my geometry that I was setting up, it's like, okay, it's actually, the geometry is not bad. And when you're working on it really close, it's like, okay, not bad. Maybe if it was finished out with eyebrows and hair, it would look less silly. But I mean, when you get into this one and looking at their geometry, it's this really nice edge flow. Oh, I like the good edge flow. And I can go in there and modify and give it more elf ears and give it the costuming that I want. So now I can focus on the creative decisions about what kind of costume do I want the character to have instead of trying to make the character look less goofy. You see what I mean? So I just jumped ahead quite a bit. So I started like 25 steps into complexity, backed it all the way up, and now I've got something that's a little bit more approachable. I'm so glad that you showed up today. I am so glad that you decided to subscribe to the channel and come back and listen to me anyway. I hope this was helpful to you, and I hope that you will be awesome today. I'll talk to you later.